That's still your signal. Alright, today we're going to be talking about actually checking the pressure on the system to see if it needs to be charged. We're going to be using the ambient plus 30 method. And basically that's going to tell you if the system needs to be charged or refrigerator needs to be recovered from it. Alright, but in order for us to get there, first we have to kind of explain what's going on with these manifolds up here. This is your low pressure side, also called your vapor side, and it's the blue side of your manifold. This is your high pressure side, also called your liquid side, and it's the red side of your manifold. This side of your gauge is going to read positive and negative pressure. The red is the negative pressure, the black of course is your positive pressure. Also, the different colors that you see on the inside is a refrigerant. We're going to be worried about the R22. R22, and you're basically going to correspond that with the pressure. Alright, the same thing takes place on this side. You have your pressure on the outside and the refrigerant on the inside. Always remember, the pressure and the temperature always correspond. So if you raise the pressure, the temperature should follow. Alright? This side of your manifold is what you must hook up to the actual service port on your system. You have this little depressor that basically depresses that valve stem in there so you can read your pressure inside your manifold. You have the same setup on your high side of the system as well as your service port. The service port, which is the yellow hose, is only used whenever you're taking something out the system or putting something in the system. To check the pressure, the service port does not have to be hooked up. It can stay on the manifold. But if I had to put Freon in here, the Freon would come into the system through the yellow service port. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and hook the manifolds up to the actual system. The disconnect box is a good place to hang your manifold. That's why you have that hook up there. And you can also have a good, view of your pressures and your temperature as you charging or whatever you're doing with your system at the time. And you don't want your manifolds to hit the ground. They can get dirt and other little debris in there, so if they do, always make sure you check before you put them on. Now the blue side, if you notice, is going to the line with the insulation on it. That is your suction. Always put the blue on the fat line with the insulation. The red will go to the opposite one. It will be the one without insulation. It's the smaller line set. That's your liquid line. The blue side also will sweat and it will be cold to the touch, and the liquid line will be pretty warm. Alright, so now you have them on there. If you notice, you're reading pressure inside your manifold. Alright, we're doing the ambient plus 30, so that means we have to get our thermistor. Get our thermistor, and we're basically going to get the temperature outside. And you want to get your temperature away from the unit, because you don't want the heat coming out the unit to affect it. Alright, give it a few so it can register the right temperature. Let's go ahead and round that off to 80. So basically, what you're going to do, you're going to take the 80 and you're going to add to the 80. You're going to add to the 80. You're going to add 30 to the 80, and that's going to tell you what your temperature should be inside your manifold. Alright? So you should be right at the 110 mark, which is going to give you a pressure of right about 225. So you have a pressure of 225 and you have 110. Basically you took 80, which was the outside temperature, and you added 30 to it, which brought you up here to 110. So that should be what your condenser temperature should be at. Alright, over here on this side, your coil needs to be close to about 4 degrees to have a good saturation temperature taking place on the inside of the coil. And that way it can absorb the most heat from the inside structure efficiently if you have a 4-degree coil. We're about right at 40. So at this point, I would just say my ambient plus 30 is showing a pretty good charge on this unit. So I would leave this unit as it is, charged at ambient plus 30, and I would not add anything to it. But I will also inspect the condenser to make sure it isn't dirty, because if the condenser is dirty, it's going to make your head pressure on your outside unit go up, which is the red side. It's going to make that pressure go up. The condenser looks pretty clean, so I'm satisfied with the reading I got. So this system right here is ready to go.